So one of my subscribers commented on my video. I had been complaining about how my colleagues sometimes ask to borrow some of my vacation time because they have family matters, and when I have a matter involving myself, right, needing mental health time, needing to go to a conference, oftentimes I don't get the same kind of treatment in return. And in fact, oftentimes I end up making a fool of myself trying to work on the road. I talked about how I had a problem on the 4th of July a couple years ago. And so he commented that we should have unlimited vacation. And I kind of agree in one sense. Let me tell you why. When I was 21 years old, I moved out of my family's home. Now, I had a very turbulent relationship with my mom in terms of doing chores. She would comment how I always leave a mess, never do the dishes, never do the laundry. I wouldn't even get a chance to. I'd take a shower and I'd take off 2 pieces of clothing, and before I knew it, it was already done, and my mom would then complain. And it was a no-win situation. I didn't want to wash 2 pieces of laundry. It's noisy, it's not environmentally friendly, and she's in a hurry to do it for whatever reason. She would literally pick up after me as I'm eating. Right, when I'm eating, I want to enjoy my meal. I'd rather clean up right after that, right? I live out of my car now, and my car is even cleaner than when I used to live out of, well, my family's home was, 5,000 square feet, right? Now I live in a, 50 square foot container, and I keep that even more clean. And now why is that? Well, because I clean up after myself at the moment that it makes sense to do so, right? Not at some bizarre bean counting moment, right? Now, how does that relate to vacation time at work? Well, people should go on vacation when it makes sense to go on vacation, right? So when I was trying to work on the road on the 4th of July, it made a fool of myself. It probably turned a lot of clients away. When my colleague was trying to go to work, when they were worried about their child care issues, right? When they had to leave their 7-year-old child home alone, or they're not going to do their best work, right? Now, when I was a kid, I used to love to watch game shows, especially Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Regis Philbin was hosting it. Unfortunately, he passed 2 years ago. Now, Regis would often ask the contestants, what would you do if you won $1 million? Now, a common answer was they would quit their job. I used to hate that answer because as much as these people might think they hate their jobs, they're contributing something useful, right? And most of the time, at least, right? And obviously, there are certain jobs and careers that I find repulsive, right? Especially the winner of the first $1 million prize on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I'll let you read about him. But, so they would quit their jobs. Now, I always thought, if I were a boss and I heard one of my employees say that, first thing first, I would pray for them to win the million so they would quit, so I wouldn't have to get rid of them. That way I don't have to deal with unemployment. That's what I thought as a kid, right? Oh my God, if I heard my employees say that, I would pray for them to win the million. Then we could both be happy. Because do you want somebody working for you, all they care about is that check? Do you really want your employees to behave like that? Now, what's really bizarre, what gets even more bizarre, is sometimes after saying that on national TV, sometimes these contestants then call their boss for help on one of the questions. And I always thought, this is so bizarre, how can a boss handle somebody who just said that and helping them win the million on national television and having them quit their jobs on national television? So I think that whether or not people should take a vacation has no relationship with numbers on a piece of paper of how many days they have, right? Just like the chores you need to get done shouldn't be it shouldn't be something on a piece of paper, right? It's how you enjoy your lives, right? I had a big problem with my mom in terms of eating habits. Now, I used to have a problem with, I still do actually. Sometimes I would be halfway through a bar of chocolate and I just can't find it anymore. And I'll just open a second one because I know it will show up eventually, right? I eat a lot of baking chocolate. Now, it drove my mom crazy. And she would collect all of the chocolate together and there might be 3-4 bars, and in my mind, so what, right? I'm eating them anyway. But my mom would complain about that, and see, I live by myself now. Yeah, I still sometimes open 3 or 4 bars of chocolate. It doesn't bother me at all. But see, that's what I meant by people should vacation the way it works for them, right? Now, unfortunately, vacation is a huge source of judgment in the workplace. Everybody thinks everybody else's vacation is a waste of time, right? My colleagues think that I'm wasting my time by going to the Rockies by myself. You know, I should be out there looking for somebody to get married to and settle down in life. And so earlier this month, I went on my first date or my first date with somebody else, I should say, in a year and a half, just to kind of appease some of my colleagues, and appeased them it did, but I wasn't very happy with that. And unfortunately, that's the life we live, right? We're constantly being judged and scored in various things that have nothing to do with work. And people say on national TV that if they won the million, they would quit their jobs. The truth is they might not. I have a hard time believing somebody would just quit their jobs after winning $1 million. I mean, they might quit it and regret it and try to get the job back. I would think, right? All right. Yes, we should have quote-unquote unlimited vacation time, because people need to vacation the way it makes sense to, not the way it says on paper.